Both bros and cousin
and cousin.
Both from another mother.
Let's go.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah. So what do we got to talk about today, Dad, bro?
You know what? We want to talk about mini camp today. So we got plenty of my video on Friday. It was an hors d'oeuvre of what is to come for today. We want to get NFL Mike's take on mini camp.
Mm-hmm.
It's the underwear Olympics, guys. I mean, bottom line, it's just people running around in underwear and all the above. I mean, only the skill players are really being evaluated, but there's some things we can discuss. I think it's pretty interesting conversation points. So
I think the ladies like to see that, though.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Hey, call me a lady then, because
yo,
oh wow,
they got me going. I'll tell you what, especially number 8. Number 8's got me excited. I don't know about you guys.
Ooh, yes,
he's looking fantastic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Number 73 and number 76 standing next to each other in underwear. I mean, football fans. I tell you right now, Jim Harbaugh's got a heart on. So.
Oh yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Don't feel ashamed if a big 73 and a big 76 gets you going.
No blue chews needed, baby.
No blue chews needed. Well, guys, again, of course, follow NFL Mike. Obviously, we appreciate him. He's literally a brother from another mother. He's an honorary Bolt Pro. We'll just say that. That's we got to get you some merch to it, my friend. So I have the make the Bolts great again, but I don't want to, get canceled in this climate of Los Angeles.
It's
living in.
I'm sure that's exactly right. Yeah.
It's framed. I'm sure you got it in one of those like kind of airtight, dust-proof things now.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Funny enough, that's still one of our best-selling merch items as well.
Oh, great.
Pretty interesting. So, I mean, it's good stuff. All right, guys, we got plenty to discuss in this video. So, as always, Bolt Bros, let's go.
Let's go.
What's up, Pyramid, man? You watching the Bolt Bros podcast. Stay tuned.
Charter blue dreams, stadium lights gleam. Bolt Bros on the beat, lead stream. Chargers rocking speeds, Sonic Supreme. From the podcast to the field, we're a team. Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bolts in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.
Okay.
Got me hyped.
Oh, yeah. There we go. We got
hyped.
Yes, sir. All right, I just had to show something that my daughter made for me today. So some fan art. Yeah, super fan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Bolt Bros, let's go. I'll wrap that for you guys next time I'm on. I'll wrap that out.
Oh, yeah.
In there.
I love that, dude. I love that.
You know how John Cena does the Honda commercials, and everyone's like, "Why is John Cena doing the Honda commercials?" Like, this is John Cena's voice. That's what it'll be.
No. Yeah, we need to get you on a verse or something like that. Like, just we get an add to the thing each year. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
The Raiders diss track is still coming. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make that happen. Yeah,
I like that. Well, before we really get into it, so NFL Mike, where can everyone find you? Let's just make sure we get you some subs and, let everyone know.
Oh, yeah.
Because, again, NFL Mike, you're the best. You put out some great content. Where can everyone find you?
Second best. But you guys can find me at NFL Mike everywhere, whatever your favorite platform is. I push out stuff here on YouTube. I've been trying to get more into the long-form stuff, but I'm primarily like a short-form creator. So my biggest page is TikTok, NFL Mike. That's kind of the main focus. But I also do podcasts on the NFL Mike YouTube channel. NFL Mike Instagram has bonus content. NFL Mike Facebook drops all the Instagram content. Also, if you're a Facebooker and you're, above the age of 50, you can go follow me on Facebook. I got it all. Twitter too. Yeah. We're trying to get better at Twitter, but Twitter's kind of like a mosh pit of mess, and I only use it for news at this point in my life because otherwise I will spend all my time on there.
Yeah,
you kind of go down a rabbit hole.
And
everything. It's kind of crazy.
Oh my God.
What's going on
There's
here?
so many hooks on there. Like people just like they're baiting people to say stuff to them, and it's just you're like, and then you're like, oh dang it, there it is.
If one of the Chargers report, like my guy Fernando Ramirez isn't tweeting something, or if it isn't Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport, I just have to stay off. I have to stay off. But I have a Twitter page. It's the NFL Mike also at the NFL Mike. If you guys want to find me with the.
The NFL Mike,
the one NFL Mike. They're holding NFL Mike up hostage right now.
Who is?
Some random guy named Mike.
Some other guy named Mike. Damn. change.
Well, you're the only Mike we care about. That's for sure.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. And Mike Williams.
Well, yeah, Mike Williams.
Absolutely.
Mike Williams is pretty solid too.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Well, so we got the upcoming training camp. By the way, NFL Mike, when are you coming out to training camp? Because we got to figure it out. The Bolt Bros got to figure it out. We got a family reunion going on around that same time.
We got to link up, man.
Boy. We got whatever day you guys say, I will go.
Okay.
But I'm already booked. I've already not booked, but I'm working with the Sinesta again this year on the 18th and 19th. So I'll be there those 2 days for sure. Okay. So if you guys do pick those days, that's an overnighter. We could definitely do something.
Okay.
I think we have been thinking about that weekend. So the opening weekend. Yeah. So that could be a thing. That could be a thing, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll talk a little more about that as well too. James is actually, so guys, just so you guys know, James is hanging out with the Hill people tonight.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's doing Hill people things. I don't even know what that is. It's
that's
weird.
All right.
Like, okay.
That's okay. We're
you do your thing.
Yeah. Even though James is our brother, NFL Mike is, he contributes a little bit better to the show. You know what I'm saying?
I'm basically James minus the beard. If I lost the beard,
you go.
Exactly right.
Hillbilly James, exactly right. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, he hangs out with the Hill people. No big deal. It's cool.
I'm telling you, like I'm seeing him out there. He wears like overalls, no shirt. He's got the straw in his mouth. Yeah,
I'm going back to my roots. I'm like, what these weren't our roots? We grew up in San Diego. What you talking about?
What are you talking about? Yeah. We're talking about going back to like Hobbiton or something like that. What
yeah. Come on now.
Yeah.
No, it's exciting. All right.
Good
so
time.
Let's get down to brass tacks, guys. Camp just wrapped up. And look, I just have to praise this man right here, dude. I even think year 2, we are just clicking on all cylinders, man. I just feel like, hey, there you go. That's a great sound effect. That's exactly how I feel. No blue chews needed, boys and girls. It's time.
Hey, wait. You got the same shirt on as him right now. What's going on?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Look at that.
This is a bootleg. This is a bootleg version.
You got yours from China.
You don't have to expose yourself like that. You don't have to expose
it's original.
Yeah.
Harbaugh sent it to me directly, so yeah, it's cool.
This hat's still got the sticker on it. It's authentic. Actually, I should probably take that off on. What the hell?
No, keep it on, man. Let's keep it on. Keep it fresh. Keep it fresh, bro.
Yeah. We got the underwear.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Who's got it better than us? Nobody. And look, I'll just say this, guys.
Man. Yeah.
What a difference a good coaching staff makes, right? Think about Brandon Staley compared to what Jim Harbaugh is, creating here. It's absolutely incredible, man. And I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on Jim? I know I talked quite a bit on Friday, so I can maybe what's your thoughts, and then I can add a little bit to it at the end. Everyone already heard my opinion on Friday, so what's your take on him?
I'll just kind of start us off, and then we can have Mike can actually land our plane a little bit here. So I feel like it's just been absolutely so refreshing that we actually have like adults in the room. It's like, oh my gosh, we have like a Chargers or not a legend. Actually, he's a Chargers legend as our coach, and a football legend, coaching legend, like with all this pedigree of like his brother's a coach, his dad was a coach. It's like, it goes down the line. And it's like, it's because we've had so many freaking years of just terrible coaches, and we're just finally like, oh, we can actually breathe. We can actually feel excited for the team. I mean, yes, we're always, as fans, we're always excited, but nowadays I'm more excited than ever.
How can you not be? I mean, it's been almost more than perfect. It's been better than I expected. I mean, when I just look over what's going on, like in Denver, for example, almost the exact same situation where at the exact same time they switch over to a coach that has success in the league from before. They're trying to build a young quarterback, trying to do this. And it just, yes, they won 10 games last year, but it's still, you can tell that team is still years away from competing in the AFC. It feels like the Chargers are already knocking on the door. It's been 1 year removed. This was a 5-win roster. It shows the difference between coaches right there. And I think that there is a big difference between waiting for Jim Harbaugh and, if you could call it destiny, whatever you want to call it, and how it worked out that way. We held Staley for that one last year for Harbaugh because we needed that guy that not only was going to bring, like you're saying, an adult to the room, someone that knows what to do, knows how to build a team, but someone who also is willing to take a step back and learn, take a step back and go, what is the strengths of my roster? What is the strengths of the guys that I already have going into this and get the most out of that? We went into last season without a rushing attack. I'm sorry, Chargers fans. Going into the year, I gave you guys all the makeup and lipstick and everything you want to hear. I was scared that we were going to have a bottom 5 rushing attack, and they made that shit work with a bunch of injuries. That's just a great example of the difference that Harbaugh makes, even from the other great coaches in the league right now, is he's going to get the maximum potential out of the 53rd best player on our team. And we see that every day. And even just in practice, you see that from one training camp, attending one season, one off season of workouts and OTAs and all that. And now that we're in year 2, it just feels like all the players, when you're watching the interviews and they're at the podium and stuff, they're all already on the same page, and it's day 1. Yeah. That's exciting.
It's a trip, right?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you guys more. And again, I think bottom line, again, adults in the room, leadership. Again, we're going to talk more about some of the things that he added to the, the uniforms, like the patches and things like that for training camp, which I think is so cool, dude. I don't care who you are. You want to be recognized. You want people to know what you've accomplished in the league. It's important, right? That's your legacy. That's what you've accomplished. But, Jim Harbaugh is great because he has an eye for talent. I think we're going to run the ball great this year. Yeah. We did lose J.K. Dobbins to the Donkeys, which I would suspect was going to happen, but it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out moving forward. But guys, I think even last year, what if Gus Edwards had a great bounce back year as well too? He just could not overcome that injury. Yeah, we need 2 running backs. Now we have 2 running backs. Hell, at this point, we might have 4 running backs. Because
at least 3.
Well, sure. We got Kamani Vidal. Everyone's hyping him up right now, big time. Yeah. He's going to be kind of like J.K. Dobbins. I mean, J.K. Dobbins is great when he's healthy, but Raheem Sanders, guys, everyone's hyping him up as well too. So, anyways, we'll talk more about that as well too. So, I think it's exciting.
And just to kind of add on to what Mike was saying as well, is like we also didn't really have a star-studded wide receiver room either. But we were very shaky in wide receivers and stuff, and so we're like, well, we still came out on that one.
I think without a shout of a doubt, if you look at the 2023 roster that Staley ran into the ground, obviously Herbert gets hurt and that season completely falls apart. And you look at the roster Harbaugh starts with. Yeah. Staley's roster is better. Yeah. The 5-win roster on paper was better than the 2024 roster. Now, this year, it's just completely out of the water to a point that Keenan Allen is still a free agent and we don't need him. I mean, this team is nuts. And I'm so excited to see them turn it around in 1 year while winning. That's the part that's key. You don't win while you rebuild. It's just not how it works usually.
Yeah, and even next year, we're going to have a ton more money left over. Let's see. I think 2026, we have $110 million in cap space.
And the QB deserves a lot of credit, too. The QB deserves a lot of credit. Having him here already definitely sped us up.
Yep, big time. I agree. But one thing I want to talk about is Derwin James. Look, bounce back player, had an amazing season last year. Love what he's done. There we go. Yeah. Hey, guys, by the way, happy Father's Day to everyone as well, too, guys. If, hey, give your old man a hug. Say, Dad, how was I conceived? Was it the back of a car after a movie? What's the situation? Hey, Dad, tell me how it happened.
I don't think I want to know that kind of stuff, bro.
Well, I'm just saying. Look, that's how babies are made. Guys, I will say this. We need more babies made in America right now, too. We're not making as many babies as we need to. So get out there and make some babies. Happy Father's Day.
Hey. Speaking of that, by the way, if you guys want a role model in this, happy Father's Day specifically to Phillip Rivers. Shout out to you, Phil. You are doing God's work. You are the man repopulating the world with quarterbacks. Let's go.
Yeah, as the good book says, multiply and replenish the earth. God bless Phil Rivers.
Hey, exactly. He's doing the Lord's work out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he is.
Hey, and shout out to Gunnar Rivers. Actually, a couple years. Yes. Maybe he's going to come to the league pretty soon. So, man, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. So
take your time, buddy. We need 10 more years or so.
Yeah, exactly. Take your time.
Exactly.
Interesting conversation here around these patches, guys. I don't know, NFL Mike and Kyle, you guys know a little bit about these patches, but again, you got the captain here. In fact, let me see if I can get the
can you zoom in a little bit? I don't know. Yeah.
Here's the pin. Here's the captain right here. So you can see this. But, then again, you got Walter Payton Man of the Year award. He's won it twice. You've got all these different things. I know there's a couple different ones, like the Granite Award for training. all these different awards that he has specifically for all these players.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I think it's really cool. It's kind of like a general when you've been through a lot of things, you know.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
marksman and whatever, and it just goes to show you, you know, Pro Bowls, all these different things. It's just huge, right? People care about this. It's motivating to you as a player. So just want to get your thoughts on that as well too.
So it sounds like to me that we need to make some merch now, and we'll have some little Bolt Bros patches that has the laurels that we've completed. Obviously, I'm going to be the MVP of the Bolt Bros. So I'm going to have I'm going to be the 5-star general of the Bolt Bros. You know, so
okay.
It is a good idea though. You guys might have just thought of a golden idea for the entire Chargers fan base to adopt. Yeah. We could have fan patches every game. The Bolt Club or somebody's bringing patches to the games. It's like, I went to that game. That's why it's on my jersey.
There you go.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Matt Money Smith talked about it, like the big games, Thursday Night Football win versus like the Broncos and like the, the Bengals. They would have a specific shirt or jacket for that win. And Matt Money Smith says, he sees those pieces of material more than anything else because
they know Charger fans. There you go. I'm not saying I'm a good entrepreneur or anything. I do this for a full-time living, but I will be taking that idea if you guys don't beat me to it. So,
no, I think it's fan. I don't honestly, it doesn't even matter like, if we do it or if you do it, whatever. I think that's great.
Yeah, we should all do it as a group. We should all do it as a group.
No, we really should. We really should for sure.
Yeah.
But this sounds like a good like $15 a piece to me. I don't know.
Anyways, right? Yeah.
No, but I just think the patches are such a cool idea. It's a nice little thing. What do you guys think in the chat as well too? You know, you like the patches, think it's great, think it's not good. It motivates people. And again, you know, Jim Harbaugh talked about the Elite 9. You know, Derwin James is obviously one of the Elite 9, right? For training, he's just a great leader. So, and Thunderbolt says he needs those Bolt Bros sunglasses again. So, Andrew, Super Bowl patches only, please. I get
it. That's what I was gonna say.
I mean, that's facts, though.
It could go either way. I think under a Harbaugh staff, I have ultimate confidence it's going to go the right way. Obviously, you guys don't know. I know a little bit about patches.
Let's go.
Earning your stripes.
Yes, you do.
But I keep this on my desk as a reminder of the patches and the shit that I did. But I think that it could go one of two ways. I don't really want to establish anyone as individuals in the team or set a chain of command. That's why I bring up my military service rack. That's not necessarily the vibe I want to set up, because then we can start having things happen like Devontae Adams and stuff like that. But really, it's more about a respect thing. Yes. These guys have earned a certain amount of respect in the league. Yeah. They work their work ethic is at a certain level. Yes. They're here doing certain activities that earn those achievements that's on his chest. Right. You need to copy him if you want to make it in the NFL. And that's the message that Harbaugh is setting. You want to be Khil Mack one day. Yeah. That's what you want. You want to be Derwin. Right. This is your example right here to try and be this guy. Also, the thing that I love about this is that, for example, Derwin James gets a bad rap around the league for being a dirty player. And he is basically a role model citizen in the NFL as a player, as an example. He has no type of off the field issues. He's a complete leader in the locker room, and he lives in Los Angeles where all of that stuff could come into play. And he's an absolute freaking superstar who, hey, again, you guys probably gonna start sussing me out, but Derwin James could be having a lot of fun in Los Angeles if he wanted to.
Yes, he
could. He doesn't.
Yep.
He plays football. He goes home, spends time with his family, and then goes back to playing football again. And he's a role model player is what I wanted to make, the point that I wanted to make. And stuff like this doesn't just point to our players, but it points to the whole league that he's a role model player and that you want to be like him. He's not this dirty player that everyone says he is.
Yeah, which is crazy because, I know there was a couple like high hits he had, yada, yada. But look, here's the thing. You want to take your thinking out of the game, right? You just want to bang, bang, do your thing, right? That sounded weird the way I said that, but you get what I'm saying, right? You know, so at the end of the day, you want to be reactionary, you know?
That's right. Well, I mean, hey, look, he's kind of like the pinnacle of football, I would say. You know, he's very physical. He likes getting out there and hitting people and stuff like that. You know, and he's the kind of like player that the league needs because we want to see those types of hits. I mean, look, we don't want people to get injured, but we want to see like players like him to like be like, look, to make the other team fear a little bit. You know, to question their existence when they see him coming at them. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's big, right? You come across the middle, you're going to get hit, right? That's a big part of the conversation. So anyway, so here's some more patches.
He's been a lot better too. He's been a lot better. He's been a lot better with the hits and the tackle. He gets his head up now. When he's laying these hits, he's not putting his head down as much. I think that's a lot of coaching. Jesse Minter, baby.
That's right.
Okay, so Aether says, NFL Mike got 2 questions, brother. Andrew said the Bolts lose 6 games. I said, let's bet they will not. He's scared. That's right. It's his bet he's talking about. Yeah.
Aether is also saying he's not going to give us another single super chat unless you take his bet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we could win. I think we could only lose 5 games this year. I actually really think we could do that. So maybe bet me 3 losses. Then I'll take that bet. How about that? Or come up with a different bet, Aether. But yeah, throw your questions out for Mike as well too. But one of the another Elite 9 is Khil Mack, and look at his patches, boys. Come on now, look at these patches.
I wonder, if you keep stacking them up, like, do they go on the rib cage? Like, where does it go from here?
I was thinking about that. It's like I was like, what I really like about what he's doing is
rib cage would be sick.
He's taking the concept from college, where like a lot of the teams they'll put the stickers on the helmet and stuff for all these different things that they've done. And bring it to like the NFL, and I really like that though, So like this is
you gotta have the right leaders though. Like I said, if you get the wrong people with these patches on, it's gonna show a bad example. It's gonna be the opposite of a good thing for the team. We have a perfect group right now. Like today's group, Khil Mack, Justin Herbert, Derwin James, like these guys are amazing. Now we add Jair Alexander to this group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now he's got the patches. He's a captain, and he's a guy that was just walking out at the coin toss and saying, no, I am a captain, even though the team didn't vote me. He's a guy that got suspended for conduct detrimental to the team. But he joins the team. He's going to have all pro patches. He's going to have, Pro Bowl patches. He's going to have, he might have other patches that I don't even know about, defensive patches that are on there that I don't know about. So we got to make sure that the right guys are representing the team, and we continue to bring in character guys as well as great football players.
Yep.
And I think keeping our guys in-house too is key. I think from here, like we're going to lose players that rotate in and out, but the last 2 draft classes I think are here to stay for a while.
I agree. One guy I think about is Donte Jackson, right? If he can make the transition to center, that would be pretty huge for him. We'll talk more about that here in a second. But Aether has a question. What's your expectation for our defense? Top 5 or not, Mike?
Yeah, it has to be top 5. I mean, last year they were top 2 statistically. So we got to be top 5 this year with the second year with our defensive coordinator. We even added more to the secondary. I think that our secondary should rank up there with some of the best in the league if both Still and Cam Hart play like they did last year. Yep. I mean, you got 2 guys that showed cornerback 1 potential, and not like your zone drop back corners, we're opportunistic or anything like. No. Thrown in the fire versus the best wide receivers in the NFL, and right away both of them stepped up. So, and then you add the other corners that we added this offseason. Those guys are all like the prototype that we're looking for, almost to an exact T. Jasir Taylor still in the depth of the roster. I mean, the secondary went to another level, I think, when we talk about the additions, and our pass rush shouldn't miss a beat by just losing 1 interior D lineman, which we replaced with like 3 or 4. So we're going to be amazing again. It's going to be top 5 for sure.
Yeah, and not only that, our 7th round pick, I'm trying to blank on him for the life of me. He's looking. Oh yeah, Taquarzy Bridges is looking really good in camp so far. And
that's the guy that's on the edge of the roster, man. Yes, like, it is crazy how good our team is.
Yeah, and there's just depth everywhere, right? And again, we're still looking at other squads as well. So if they're letting people go, we're gonna make it happen. We're just gonna go out there as well too. Miguel says, you ever played football, and what position did you ever play, Mike?
Actually, funny that you bring it up. I did play football. I played 4 years in high school, top order football, and then I actually went overseas and played in Japan while I was stationed over there.
Hey,
I played corner. I was a white corner out there, vanilla corner, slot corner / safety. I was basically like Cooper DeJean minus 50 rating in Madden. So if Cooper DeJean's a 89 in Madden, then I was like a 49.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
I'll give one last thought for Khil Mack. He got paid $18 million. I think that's what he's going to get paid. Let me just look it up real quick. 18 million. And actually, I can't remember. Does he have some money left over? Khil Mack is also getting paid $8.8 million in dead cap money as well too, because they rolled it over from last year. Remember, they moved his money out, so he's getting paid quite a bit of money, folks. He's It's right under Derwin James. Derwin James is getting $23 million. And Khil Mack is right there with that dead cap money. So I'm just saying Khil Mack is a big piece to this puzzle, right? We need him to stay healthy, and Thule needs to step up and be that guy as well too. So that pass rush is going to be big because, again, if you have a good pass rush, guess what? Your defensive back doesn't have to be that great. They don't have to cover that long. Under 2 seconds, you're great. If you can get some pressure on the guy, on the QB, move him out of the pocket, makes a big difference. So, again, I just really hope Khil Mack has a great season along with Thule, and I think we'll be in fine shape as well too. So it's going to be big.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about that.
Oh, yeah. I can't even believe that I'm saying this at this point in my life. I mean, if you just go back like 5-7 years ago, little teenage Mike, and you say, "Hey, Mike, who's your most hated player in the entire NFL?" I'll tell you Khil Mack. And now here I am looking at the heavens saying, "I love you, Khil Mack."
Right.
Khil Mack could have signed with any team he wanted this offseason, and he decided to stay here. He thinks this is his best chance to win a Super Bowl. And that's no joke. He's not even playing around when he says that. He's not being biased because he had a choice of going to every team. I don't think Chargers fans realize that. You should buy a Khil Mack jersey and keep it forever.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. Like I realized that. I was like, because he's saying it's like, he wanted a shot at the Super Bowl, and he was like, and he stuck with the Chargers to do that. And I was like, hang on a sec, like, and most people would have gone like the way of Drew Tranquil, gone to the Chiefs, gone to the Eagles, gone to, maybe the Bills, maybe the Ravens, like all these other
Bosa.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Joey didn't, Joey was shown the door, but Joey went to the Bills, and Khil Mack could have easily joined him and been on a team that everyone immediately with Khil Mack says is winning the Super Bowl next year. And even to bring up Joey, to go back to Bosa, in Khil Mack's presser, they were asking him, like, how does it feel without Joey there? He was like, it feels a little bit different, but in a way, like, I don't know. Like, I like that it feels a little bit different. I don't know. I want it to be different. No offense to Joey. I love Joey. That era of Chargers defense to me is just going to be the era of failed potential, man. And it's because of injuries. It's because of coaching. It's because of fill in the blank reasoning.
Sure.
Joey Bosa's defenses, they failed. So we don't want that anymore. And I like that it's a new mindset and a new era.
Not only that, Joey Bosa's already injured in camp right now. Calf injury. No joke, guys. It's crazy. Calf injury. I think he'll be ready for normal training camp, but he's got a major calf strain or something. It's like, dude, what is he doing wrong? Like, I don't understand that, right? Good
Some
question.
People, it's just their build. It's just his brother also deals with it. Like, it's just their build, man.
Yeah.
That's a good point. By the way, somebody else make a good comment that Khil Mack was dealing with a groin strain all year, which he was. Another person that gets a lot of heat. Oh, yeah, all last year. Another person that was injured pretty much all last year was the corner you spoke to in our nickel corner. Oh, my gosh, why am I drawing a blank on his name? Our nickel corner.
Fulton? No.
Oh, my gosh, why am I drawing a blank on his name? He's got the dreadlocks.
We're so terrible.
you talked about him earlier.
Still? Or
yes. No.
Cam Hart is still.
Bridges?
No.
Triquise Bridges? No.
Wait, whoa.
Jasir Taylor.
What position? Jasir Taylor.
Okay, there it is.
I didn't know what position you were talking about.
Yeah, he had a major injury all last year. Apparently, Matt Money Smith says it was serious. Like, he probably shouldn't have even played. Yeah, here we go. Justin Herbert got it right. Justin Herbert. I love that. Anyways.
Yeah.
But no, again, guys, when someone goes on the injured reserve, they are really injured. Like, they cannot get out there and play. They cannot participate. So do not think by the end of the year, everyone's out there is just peachy keen, hunky-dory. They are not. They are all banged up. They are all struggling with something. And it's just, hey, man, did you ever watch that show on Netflix? What was it called? Last Chance U or whatever. So football players.
Yeah.
I remember hearing like the best line. Can't make the club in the tub, where you're basically like, hey, if you're just healing your body up the entire time, you're not going to make the squad. So you got to perform even when you're banged up. So anyways, yeah, I just think there's a lot to be said about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to the coaches that went through that show. They were a lot of fun to watch, man. Some old school coaching on that show if you want to go see what it was like to grow up in the 2000s and 90s playing football.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, interesting statistic on Jasir Taylor. When he was in as nickel, he actually was our best cover corner that year. Statistically speaking, he was incredible. This year, he was definitely bad. But again, the injuries do heck. And
I still have some hope in Jasir Taylor also because we bring some special teams. People don't know what an impact players bring to special teams. When Jasir Taylor's healthy, he's going to be our best gunner out there probably, and then he's going to flip to the other side and also contribute on the punt return team.
And guys, it's so exciting that we have that much depth, right? Because you could argue all day, yeah, he's not great, but he was banged up. I mean, look at Cam Hart. Cam Hart performed well even as a rookie. Banged up a lot, right? 2 concussions. I mean, it's just crazy to me to think about that as well, too. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the linebacker room a little bit. Obviously, another guy that was banged up. We could just talk about it briefly. Junior Colson did not really. I just don't think he really got out of the gate. He had the appendicitis at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
just couldn't quite get it going.
Yep.
We're expecting a lot from him, but Deion Henley, guys, he was snubbed. I'm still so pissed he did not go to the Pro Bowl. I just felt like he was incredible. So maybe talk a little bit about Deion Henley and our linebacker crew. What you guys think?
I'm very excited for linebackers this year again. With the Junior Colson thing, like you said, rookie year kind of martyred with bad luck. Also, keep in mind that linebackers typically take a few years in the league. Yes. This isn't something that's abnormal for a linebacker to take. That's why we gave Kenneth Murray so long. We just kept going and again because this guy has all the physical attributes. One day it might click in the head and it all work out. And that's probably what's going to happen with Junior Colson, considering his coaching staff from college that made him so great there is here.
Yeah.
So what will be the reasoning that he's not going to transition after, our former all-pro linebacker Denzel Perryman's gone? That's why I'm so excited about this group is that you have Zero, who's obviously our premier linebacker now. You have Six, who has put in at the top, especially when it comes to stopping the run and chasing down rushers. Top production at the linebacker position on the inside in the entire league in his career. We haven't seen it in a few years from him. And then that potential of Junior Colson coming up. And then I think a few guys behind them even that could show out, shine, and make this roster by surprise. So I'm pretty excited for the linebacker group. Like you said, I think he should have made the Pro Bowl. He probably should have made a second team All-Pro last year with the numbers and stuff that he put up. That's just more hunger, more motivation for this guy to go out there and get it. Watching him play football is so much fun. And that's what a lot of players on our team bring. You need that kind of energy at linebacker that Deion Henley plays with. And an LA kid too. That makes you proud.
LA kid.
So growing up in LA, born and raised through UCLA and then to the Chargers.
And he's funny as hell too, man. Yeah. Again, just always smiling, super cool dude.
That was it. I was slipping on the fourth linebacker. Troy Dye is still there.
Yes. Yeah, Troy Dye. Yep.
He could put in reps if you need him to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we do have Denzel Perryman as well too. Denzel is back. Exactly. He's dude. He's a run stopper. He's just a big dude. So, anyways, Kyle, what's your thoughts on the linebacker crew a little bit? Again,
so I mean, I'm
Elite 9 as well too.
Right, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Junior Colson can do. Because look, Deion Henley didn't have a really anything kind of first year, but then his second year was obviously amazing, incredible and stuff. So if he can step up in a big way, just like Deion Henley did this year or last year, whatever, so we'll have an amazing linebacker core right here now, upcoming up, especially with Denzel Perryman. Look, let's be honest, he's probably on his way out. This is probably his last year, and so he's going to mentor. Deion Henley's going to mentor Junior Colson a little bit more, and then obviously he's going to have to ride off into the sunset.
They're not going to execute him in the field or something. What are you talking about? Sound like he's like right off into the sunset. I see it. Golly, dude.
I'm saying he's leaving. Yeah,
retire. God, okay.
Retire.
Older.
All right. He's getting older. Shoot.
Well, his reps should come down, right? Because Junior Colson should play more this year, just being healthy, being out there, hopefully throughout all of camp, everything. So his reps will already start to come down. What I love about Agent Zero the most is it's very hard to find linebackers with that kind of coverage skills. Mm-hmm. Right. The Chargers really made a mistake letting Kaiser White walk a few years ago. They should have went with Kaiser White instead of Kenneth Murray. And that's I know that was your first round pick and you're trying to hope that this guy works out, but Kaiser White had the cover skills that we needed in the middle for our defense to thrive. And Agent Zero's got Fred Warner-like coverage skills, like having a safety in the middle of the field. It freaks me out to think he's going to improve. It does. He's going to be better.
Yep.
He's going to turn all those passes that he bats down and undercuts and just barely gets his hand in there into interceptions. He's going to turn all those 2-yard gains into 2-yard losses. Let's go.
So, a couple interesting notes, and I did do a video on this like a few weeks back, but as far as the undrafted free agents, before I move into the offense, I just want to state there's 2 players that actually were given guaranteed money from the undrafted groups. You guys know who the 2 players were? In the chat, do you guys know who the 2 players were that were actually given guaranteed money as an undrafted player?
As an undrafted player?
Yeah, so in our undrafted class this year.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah. Maybe Raheem Sanders. Yeah, I think.
No, so Raheem Sanders is one.
Yeah.
He got $55,000, by far the highest, which you might say, well, it's not a lot of money. Especially in California, it's not a lot of money because the taxes are high.
In sports terms, yes, that's not a lot of money. But
yes.
But that's literally, for people who aren't in California, that is how much you make on 100K. I'm just saying.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah. You get, actually, funny story about that too. We're going to talk about this guy later. I'll talk about his number also. The other guy is a cornerback, Nico Reed from Oregon.
Interesting.
So, and a lot of people think Nico Reed looks good as well too. I could probably do a video on him as well. I think I talked about him briefly in a video probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, but it isn't. So anyway, I just think it's kind of a cool. Those are the 2 guys that right now has received guaranteed money. Because again, if you're undrafted free agent, you're just signed on as a weekly contract, and it's like, well, we don't like you anymore. You got to go. Bye. Or fill the spot with somebody else, right? So I think it's interesting that those are the 2 guys that actually are getting given guaranteed funds, which I thought was interesting.
Well, I can understand for the cornerback side of things because, like, while we do have some really amazing cornerbacks right now in Tarheeb Still and Cam Hart, it's still a bit of a shaky position in my opinion because look at that. What group do we have there right now? We don't have many veteran cornerback. So we got that one guy we just got from the Pittsburgh earlier this year.
Donte Jackson.
Yeah.
He's good. He's good too.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
And then you also got Benjamin St. Just, who's really good too.
And
good
then
body.
Of course,
I think that's our slot.
Yeah,
I think that's our slot corner right there. I think Benjamin St. Just is going to be the starting slot corner unless we make a signing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But then of course, Asante, like people brought him up as whatever, like, and I think that it's a done deal. There's no. He's not coming back. He's just unsigned. Yeah,
I think even when you go watch Jesse Minter's press conference and how they're talking about wanting Derwin James to play slot so he can help in run defense. I mean, they're basically saying like we don't even want a corner to play slot anymore. We want someone that can tackle and play linebacker at slot. And we signed 2 6'2" plus corners. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty clear that they don't want Asante Samuel Jr. back.
Yeah.
Well, and not only that too. It's an easier spot to blitz from, right? Because then the safety could come down and just man that guy up as well. But that's an easy
Asante's,
spot. Yeah,
he's not going to be a great blitzer.
Yeah, he's too small. Blitzer. And don't get me wrong, Asante, he fights with the heart of a lion, dude. He's amazing. Like he's not the biggest dude, and he's incredible. But dude, it's a physical league. This team clearly wants big freaking dudes. They want big dudes, and
we are the biggest team now in the league.
It is.
Yeah. I did a study.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I put the post out on it. I forget the exact numbers, but we are the biggest team in the league on average by height and weight.
That's right, guys. Size matters.
Blue chews not needed, guys.
That's right.
Blue chews not needed. Well, actually, interesting.
You guys need to get them on as a sponsor. It's probably not that hard. I mean, Blue Chew. I see ads everywhere.
I know. Come on. You guys want to get bolted up for the game, literally and physically? Get you a Blue Chew real quick.
You guys are out there giving Blue Chews pregame, and it's just like this is like the worst idea ever.
Hey, all the Bolt Bros fans are bolted up as they walk into the stadium.
Oh my God, what's going on here? Oh,
you just notice why is everyone standing in line but like 2 feet away from each other?
There you go. Hey, it's just to make all the other fans, the other teams uncomfortable.
You guys want to invade our stadium, huh? You want to invade our stadium?
Yeah.
All the Chargers fans fill up the 500 sections and give the 400 sections to the visiting fans, and then give the Blue Chews and just let everyone just.
Oh my God! We didn't reach out to Blue Chews. Come on now,
that is a perfect marketing campaign right there. Yeah,
just thought some lifetime in prison charges, also a good sponsorship.
Okay, so let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, by the way, old Jay Herbo, dude. And again, let's highlight his patches, dude. I mean, right here.
The cream of the crop, rise to the top. That's right. There you go.
But I mean, his patches, you know, hey, he's getting there. Patches O'Houlihan. You guys remember dodgeball? Anyways, I just would say this, man. Again, I still love the patches. I can't remember who Matt Money said, but Matt Money has said there was somebody at camp who was an ex-quarterback that was just gushing all over Justin Herbert at camp. Was like, dude, it's amazing what he can do. And it should be a little bit illegal with how well he could throw the ball, all the above. Guys, we ride or die with Justin Herbert. He can do it. He finally now has the team behind him. He's got to go prove it. He's got to go prove it at this point, right? So I think he's a top 5 QB. A lot of people have him at 8 or so. I think that's incorrect. I think 5 is the way to go. So anyway, just your thoughts on Jay Herbo and what kind of season he's going to have. Oh, is it Mark Sanchez? I couldn't remember who it was. Is it Mark Sanchez beef? Let me know.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to hate on Herbert. The dude is just super, super duper ridiculously efficient at this point.
Right.
I mean, maybe the most efficient quarterback in the league at this point. I mean, who is more efficient? Last year was Aaron Rodgers' level of efficiency, and no one's talking about it. Hall of Fame level numbers. We're talking about Peyton Manning level efficiency, and it was year 1 in his 3rd offense in 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, going into year 2, obviously, you're going to expect him to know the offense better. We saw in the pressures, they were already saying that Herbert can run the offensive practice at this point. They don't even need a coaching staff. So that's full Peyton Manning, Tom Brady type stuff right there. I'm super pumped to see the numbers he puts up because, like I said, everyone's talking about his numbers dipping to Aaron Rodgers efficiency level numbers, but no one's talking about what the potential is for year 2. I think that it may be a similar total stat line with a little bit more yards, with, you know, bigger play, better wide receivers, a little bit more yards with a better rushing attack behind him. But it's not going to be ridiculously high. We're not going to see him go for no 50 touchdown season just because of the style of offense that we play. You're going to see Herbert just do this year after year, where it's 25, 4 interceptions, 30, 3 interceptions, 35, 7 interceptions. And that's just insane. That's how you win in the league. I don't care. I'm sorry, Philip. I love your attitude. I want to just throw it up until, you know, the last second strike 0, but I'd rather be up by 10 points by then.
Yeah. 100%. And
dude, we're going to run the ball too, like you said.
That's the big thing, is that the Chargers rushing attack last year was massively overrated. People are talking about us like we had a top 10, top 15. I think we had like a 20 or 21st ranked our rushing attack. It wasn't that great. It's going to take a leap.
Yeah, we'll be top 10 in rushing, in my opinion, for sure.
Yeah, definitely this year, for sure. Like and I think that the big contribution to his efficiency comes from the fact that, like, Greg Roman doesn't like to throw the ball that often, you know, and so he's going to be rushing a lot more too. So, like, I mean, unfortunately, that's the downside of all this stuff too. Just to say is that because we all love to see Justin Herbert throwing those balls out, and we're not going to see too much of that. I mean, yes, we're going to see those deep bombs. Let me correct it. H bombs. But
I think they said deep moms.
Oh, well, you know that too.
It's Father's Day. Deep moms.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
deep moms. Oh, deep moms. Got it. Okay.
No, there's a lot of deep moms right now. You know, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, what I'm saying is that, like,
going left.
Oh yeah, of course. We're always in left field here, you know. Anyways, but yeah, I'm saying is that you know, unfortunately, we're not going to see the Joe Lombardi type of offense with Justin Herbert again for a long time. You know, like where he just throws the ball as much as possible. You know, but that's good.
What's crazy is sorry to cut you off. We saw Herbert hit the max of that offense.
Right.
Yep.
Right, and we still weren't a Super Bowl contender, and that's the exact offense Bo Nix is trying to make run to the max.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
So have fun.
Yeah. Have fun with it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and again, you have to be successful on both sides of the ball. The good news is we now have a good defense, and Jesse Minter, and it's great. We have the same defensive scheme, same offensive scheme. Again, the cool thing is we're gonna have, you know, Harbaugh for years to come, right? I fully expect he'll be head coach into his 70s at this point, and
let's go.
I don't think he ever wants to leave, you know. So
good.
I think he wants one thing, and that might be it, but we'll see.
Yeah. So So there's a lot to be said about that as well too. But again, Herbert, man, he's just look. I think this is his year. He finally has a team around him. No more excuses at this point too. So like Acho always trolls on him. Oh, he can't win the game or whatever. Look, I do really think that there is something to be said about a team around a player, and I think that's really what he has missed. Look at what he's done when he had Williams and Allen and like a really crappy offensive line, but those guys got open. I think our rookies this year, and we're going to have way more targets this year than we've even had at all for Herbert. So sky's the limit. No more excuses. I think it's going to be great. Again, healthy Herbert equals MVP. I 100% agree with that as well too. So
and Acho's an absolute idiot. He's a dumbass. This is why he's not playing in the league still. This dude's like 28. He ain't old. Yeah. This is why this guy's not playing in the league still, because he's an absolute idiot. I mean, what does he want him to prove? Herbert has better numbers than Joe Burrow. He has the same win percentage as Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow doesn't have anything left to prove. Yeah. What does he have left to prove? Are you talking about the Super Bowl run? All Herbert has to do is win in the playoffs. The 2 times he's been to the playoffs has been circumstantially catastrophic failures. I mean, like, we haven't even given him a chance to win in the playoffs. That's all that's left to do. No quarterback other than Patrick Mahomes has won in the playoffs, guys. So I don't even know what there is left to prove. Joe Burrow's run to the Super Bowl was clutch, sure, but it was just as much freaking lucky if you go and watch all those playoff games.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Absolutely.
Well said, man. And look, I just think it's exciting.
I hate it. He's a top 5 quarterback. He's already established himself, and they act like he has to like go out and have a 5,040 touchdown season. Wait, he already did that. What are we talking about?
Yep. Right. Yep. He's already there. And guys, there's a lot of players. He's got a lot of weapons this year too. And it's a tight race. These wide receiver guys, is Brendan Rice going to even make the team, right? Darius Davis, like what's going to happen with Jerry Davis? I mean, look, I'm telling you, you're going to see some interesting cuts this year. We're that deep that you're going to see some really interesting decisions. Someone made a comment that we haven't had any signings since the draft as well too. And I think the team is pretty well set, guys. There's a lot of freaking depth here, dude.
Well, so I've got some new. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and act like Keenan Allen shouldn't be signed to a team. He should be signed to a team in the NFL somewhere.
Yeah, he absolutely should be. Yeah, and I would
Darius
hope that
Davis and Brendan Rice. Darius Davis and Brendan Rice are not making the roster. They're not.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, it would be.
We're going to the Super Bowl. We're over the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just saying Keenan Allen's going to sign right before training camp. I'm just saying it. It's going to happen.
I agree with that too. It would be interesting to see if we did sign him. If we signed him, who would we let go?
So everyone's saying like, who we let go, all this stuff. They're going to let someone go. Sorry. It's just going to happen. I mean, we're good at receiver, but I feel like we're still one injury away from not being good at receiver again. I feel so confident in it. I don't care who tells me no. Even if Jim Harbaugh himself tells me no, I'm probably still going to think that he's going to sign with the Chargers until he signs with the Rams or signs with the Steelers or signs with someone else.
Oh, don't sign with the Rams. Come on, dude.
It feels like Keenan wants to be here too. So he's probably going to be like, hey guys, I'll almost do this for free. You guys know that you're not going to make it through the whole season with Mike out there. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, one guy that is always in the limelight is Quinton Johnson. And, for
good or bad.
Yeah, for good or bad, guys. I'll say this. He has looked very good. A lot of people have really liked what he's done in the offseason. Again, he's coming back and looking sharp. Apparently, he had a couple drops, but apparently he's made some really good plays as well, too. So we'll see. I mean, look, he has put in a lot of work. Everything I read on his offseason, he was in every camp, every place he could possibly get to get better. So we'll see. Now, here's my conspiracy theory, and I'll pass to you guys and also in the chat. Do you think we're hyping him up right now just so we can try and trade him off somewhere, right? And get some sort of trade bait, right? Oh, Quinton looks amazing again. And he had a good season. 8 touchdowns, not terrible. But, we'll see. What do you guys think about that as well, too? And guys, in the chat, what do you guys think as well? Is he trade bait? Is he not trade bait? What's your thoughts?
I don't think so. I think they're going to keep him. I do. Like I said, even in the situation that they signed Keenan Allen, we're not going for the AFC West. We're not going for a first round exit. We're not going for the second round. We're going for a Super Bowl, and we're going to have injuries, and we're going to need guys. And Quinton Johnson's role on this team, love it or hate it, is there. It's going to be there. I think that there could be a trade, but that situation would be like, oh my God, KLS is a starter. Like, what are we going to do at this point? He's now our 5th receiver. We got to get this guy on the field. Maybe they trade Quinton Johnson in a situation like that where he can fill that X receiver role in events that we don't have Mike. What I love about having Mike is like this kind of stuff is where Quinton Johnson struggled. And we see this photo, him doing exactly what he struggles at.
Yeah.
We're not going to need him to do as much of this year if Mike can stay healthy. Yep. So I think you're going to see Quinton Johnson have the same year he had last year, but without the embarrassing moments, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Shoot. Yeah.
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 Well, I think
that Raiders game, man, that Raiders game was like, and you know what's funny is earlier in the season, they had beef with the Raiders late in that game, and QJ got in a fight with their DBs, right?
Yeah.
Nice. And then he comes out and drops 200 yards in their head in a game that doesn't matter late in the season, pretty much. Like, if we can get that QJ out, whatever that pissed off version of him was every week, sign me up. I'm here.
He has all the talent, guys. He has all the talent.
Mm-hmm. And he's got a good size too, you know, but, and I'll just say this though. I'll just say this though too, Andy, I think you're really on to something here because I think they could be hyping him up to get the phone call, you know, to get potential trade offers for him. Do they really want to trade him? Not necessarily, but because he's on a cheap rookie contract, that's why they'll probably keep him, you know, because he has improved significantly from the first year to the second year. And now going on to this next year. So like we should be hopefully see better results out of him, you know, specifically because I think they're not going to use him the way that they have in the past. And that's why I think that they probably do want to keep him, but they're just going to use him differently than they have previously.
And Beef Tallow brings up a good point. QJ Reagor. Apparently, our coaching staff loves Jalen Reagor as well. They seem to absolutely love him. Man.
I don't know why.
I love Darius Davis. I love him, dude. I don't want to see him play for another team. I don't, but he's gonna get. He's gonna be on another team.
It's so there's a lot to be said about this. And again, this is where it's going to be hard to determine what you have. Now again, minicamp is over. They had rookies. Actually, the rookies still stick around though, right? They're still supposed to be at the facilities this entire time.
There is actually like a few more days of some OTAs that happen like right now. But yeah, mandatory minicamp is over, but I think there is a voluntary camp OTA or something like that, like for the last but then after that there's a massive break.
Yeah, massive break. Yeah, okay. So I think this is also when the coaching staff sits back and says, okay, what do we really have? What do we feel comfortable with? Are we comfortable with this roster? That's when they really start evaluating. Do we need a Keenan Allen? Do we need maybe trade QJ off? Yada, yada, right? This is where the conversations kind of matter. The funny thing is, I think, again, and I said this in one of my videos last week, that we are not going to get people like a Tyreek Hill, someone that is just a pain in the ass, cares about himself. They're not going to be here. Yeah, they're not going to be here with the Chargers. Harbaugh does not want to deal with it. They want locker room guys. It's funny. You listen to what Harbaugh says. Well, I'm going to talk about one guy right now. Let me see if I have him next. Oh, no, not yet. So, actually, no. I'll show this guy right now. Rashawn Slater is a great example. He could have not shown up because of his contract, right?
Yeah.
Well, he would have been fined, but he showed up anyways because he said, I want to win. I'm not worried about my contract, and I'm here to be part of the team, and I'm excited to play ball. That's the type of guy the Chargers want. They don't care about talent as much as attitude and a desire to win. I mean, look at what he did with Michigan players that weren't the highest recruits. He got guys together, gave them a good culture, and they won because they just had a great team culture. So my point is, again, they're working his contract out. Probably be signed before camp, I would assume. But guys, it's just that's the type of character we need moving forward. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that as well, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm super excited to see him show up. I've been worried about it. Just the sneaky little thing in the back of my head, like a little squawk is telling me, like, still in my head, like, I know it worked out, guys, and Chargers fans are probably going to be mad at me for saying it. Like, you don't draft right tackle at 5th overall. And that tick isn't going, oh, we should have taken Malik Neighbors. That tick is going, does Harbaugh want to avoid paying a left tackle by drafting maybe someone they view as a better left tackle than Rashawn Slater, moving all eventually and letting Slater go? That's what I was worried about when they drafted Alt. Like immediately that type of stuff is coming into my head. I know how Harbaugh operates. I know how he plans. I know that he will look someone in the eyes and tell him I love you and then stab him in the back if that's what it takes to win football games. But to see Slater show up lets me know that both sides, they're on great terms. They're communicating. There isn't any kind of miscommunication here. The Chargers' goal is to get to a signing. And if that wasn't felt on Rashawn Slater's side of things, he would not show up.
Yep, for sure.
So it feels like to me, just him showing up to practice and when he didn't need to, I mean, it is mandatory, but it isn't for a guy that's on a contract year. That put the worries I had about Harbaugh scheming and knowing that he could find a right tackle easier than he could find a left tackle, especially when you talk about paying a left tackle and you have one on a rookie contract that could be elite already. It puts all those worries to bed because if that was what was going on and they're trying to hardball Slater on his contract, Slater wouldn't show up.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Totally agree. And we actually do have like Harbaugh's philosophy is he would like to fill the entire lineup with left tackles, or not just left tackles, but it's any kind of tackle,
tackles,
yeah, that size of people, So he goes after these guys that are big, and so just like you're saying, if they really want to, they could let Slater go, but I don't want that. Obviously, he's been an absolute unit for that left side and protecting Justin Herbert. I mean, look, you can't shake his head. He's got some of those patches too, fellas. Look at that. He's got 3 patches there. He was a captain. He was an all-pro. Not an all-pro. He was a pro bowler. So we want to keep him around for sure,
Dude's giving up a few pressures a season right now. I mean,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just a few. Yeah.
It's crazy for having 2 shorter arms.
I mean, all last year, he and Alt were the only 2 people that were really working on the line. So we want to keep them around. They are our staples of this offensive line right now.
Yeah, I do think bottom line he's going nowhere. But again, it just goes to show you his mentality and his desire to win with the team and be with his team. That's what I was trying to highlight, the fact that he's just that guy, right? And that's the type of players that Harbaugh wants, right? And Rashawn Slater is incredible. He doesn't even like to have like a tight end chip on his side. He gets pissed off. He wants to man his guy up, and that's it. So it's exciting. So look, he'll get it sorted out. I think we have $26 million left in cap space, if I remember correctly. Let me just double check here. $27 million. So we got quite a bit there. So we're good to go.
It's no coincidence that every single team in the league that has great tackles also has great pass rush. These guys help out the pass rush tremendously in practice. Oh, yeah. Having to go against Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater every day, and then you go out there and have to go against Colton Miller's bitch ass. It's going to be easy.
Yep. Well, and again, one thing I would say too is if you could get really Zion Johnson to play center.
Please.
The reason why I like that idea, and I think the reason why I think Harbaugh and the team likes the idea of him playing center, is he's more athletic. He's much smaller than everybody else, and you can put Bozeman to left guard. Bozeman's 6'4", 240 or something like that. He's a big freaking dude. That is a huge line, right? And, Zion's like 320, one of the strongest guys. Rashawn Slater and Zion are almost the 2 strongest guys on the team. I think Joe Alt's getting close. But my point is, that is a huge line. And then, with Zion, he could get to the second level, hit the Mike linebacker, hit another guy, and drive more people downfield, right? Which I think is really great. So, look, I think if you could get Zion to make that move, that line becomes even better and bigger and beefier, and we are going to run the ball all over people. And it's just going to be smash mouth football. It's going to be exciting. So tenderize that meat, as we like to say.
Tenderize it. Zion's also literally a rocket scientist.
Yes,
he's literally a rocket scientist, and we're struggling at picking up blitzes in the last split second, making those quick decisions. Maybe we can have a little bit better of a connection there here with Zion. I think also you underestimate how much the guards help the center, right?
Yeah.
I think Mekhi Becton can help Zion a lot, and then like you're saying, Bozeman, maybe having him with his head up instead of thinking about the snap and all that kind of stuff. Maybe just the connection works better with Zion at center, Bozeman at guard. The communication's better. Bozeman's doing a lot of the blitz pickups, and Zion can focus on the snaps instead of Bozeman doing the snaps and the blitz pickups.
Yeah.
I also want to see our quarterback continue to get better and better at this. And identifying blitzes, because we're getting surprised on third down too much. I would say that's one of the only weaknesses he has.
Yes.
We get surprised on specifically third down too much where we shouldn't be surprised. That's when you should know it's coming.
You should be prepared on that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A good example would be really the game that James and I were at, the Houston playoff game, which was so frustrating. They arguably the worst game for the offensive line all season by like a long shot.
And again,
they were dry humped the entire time.
And again, Andy and James are barred from going to the game without me, because every single time they've gone without me, we've lost. So you have to go. If you guys, you can't go without me. If I can't go, y'all ain't going.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we went to the Arizona game as well too. So
yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. That game was frustrating. Speaking of Jalen Reagor, right? That fumble was just, oh my god. We'll
game.
Yeah, we'll finish with this guy right here. Oronde Gadsden has shined in camp so far. I would say he's probably the rookie that has stood out the most, or at least what I've kind of heard. I could be wrong, but it seems like he's sort of the guy that really has won a lot of people's hearts, especially Harbaugh. Harbaugh spoke to him about him for about 3 minutes. Said he's in the locker room early. He's working his ass off. We practically have to kick him out of the building. And he's got guns, man.
There you go.
And
NFL Mike's got some guns.
Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. So, anyways, just what's your thoughts on Gadsden, Kyle, and NFL Mike? And then what do you guys think in the chat as well, too? He's going to have an explosive season this season.
Yeah, so I'll say that I've been pretty hyped on him. Like, look, I've been saying for the last couple seasons we've needed a freaking tight end first round, whatever, like that, So I think this is all a psyop, because I've made that been beating the table saying that, and the Raiders have done it in the last couple seasons, and so I think that they really do listen to the Bolt Bros too. So I'm going to try to keep giving the Chargers bad advice, so that way the Raiders can actually pick up for what I'm putting down, So but this is to say, we got him in the 5th round, and he's actually showing up really well. And that's amazing to see, because we've needed a wide receiver type tight end. But my thoughts is that if he can pick up being able to block so much better in the next couple of years, this season, whatever, he could be tight end 1. He could totally replace Will Dissly and get above Conklin right away if he actually steps up in that way.
Yeah. I think so too. And what's interesting is actually going probably back 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I would say tight end will be the position where we could maybe add one more, as well. I was thinking. I know a lot of people were already hyped on him straight out the draft before we saw anything in minicamp, anything in OTAs, anything at all from him. I was like, okay, we need to be honest with ourselves. This is still we're throwing a dart at a dartboard with a little tiny bullseye. It's a smaller than normal bullseye. It's not likely that we're just gonna hit it. But everything that everyone is saying out of the organization, what Harbaugh is saying about this guy, being there from sun up to sun down, being the receiver that he's being at practice already, like, how could you not get excited? How could you not think that Harbaugh may have saw something in this kid? And this is going to be a perfect fit. We've seen tight ends go late in drafts before and become elite tight ends. Our greatest tight end of all time is an undrafted guy. He's going into the Hall of Fame in a few weeks here, in case you guys don't remember. So maybe like someone said in the chat, this man's God sent. He's Gadsden that was God sent, because it is exactly what we need. We need that Jimmy Graham, Vernon Davis. We need that red zone threat that is going to convert a lot of these drives that we get into field goal range, and sending Cameron Dicker to the Pro Bowl. But sending Cameron Dicker to the Pro Bowl, we need to send this tight end to the Pro Bowl for having 10 touchdowns.
Yeah,
I like it.
100%.
Well, and remember, I think the only reason why he slipped was he's really not a prototypical tight end. He's more viewed as like a slot tight end, right? So he lines up more like a slot wide receiver. So he's a little bit different. Having said that, I do think that's where Conklin, and a lot of people talk about Conklin. Nobody's sleeping on Conklin. I just kind of want to highlight a rookie that's looking good. But Conklin has looked amazing. He's sort of the overall, all well-rounded offensive blocker and good pass catcher as well, too. But Oronde Gadsden has looked really good in camp. I think one game he had like 7 catches.
Conklin's he's a good stopgap. He's a good guy to fill the blank. But remember Hayden Hurst. I mean, just think about that for a second. I know Hayden Hurst was injured. It's kind of similar. I view Tyler Conklin as a more consistent player than Hayden Hurst has been in the league. He's a better blocker. He's better all around tight end. He's an upgrade from Will Dissly as a receiver too.
Yeah.
So that still is a great pickup. But like if we had Conklin and Mark Andrews, if we had Conklin, and Dallas Goedert, I would feel a lot better about our depth. Unless 86 breaks out, like you guys are saying, then I'm all in for him being the tight end 1 going forward. I think we need to identify our franchise tight end like this year or next year. It's time.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, and think about it. Top 5 quarterback throwing you the ball as well too. There's really almost no excuses. But again, Hayden Hurst had that preseason hip injury. That was a brutal hit, guys.
Yeah.
I remember watching that going, holy smokes, how is he even walking after that hit?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I don't even know why that cornerback wasn't kicked out of the game. I mean, he literally hit him right in his hips.
Yeah.
And it was ugly.
Yeah.
So
that was clearly
hope better for Conklin.
Yep.
I also think back about Ladarius Green with Rivers, but then more recently Donald Parham with Justin Herbert. And like there was a little bit of a connection there that maybe this kid could find and pick up on.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
Well, and I think bottom line, it's nice to see some of these rookies step up. Now, again, we got Trey Harris. Obviously, we can talk about Omarion Hampton all day, every day, because he's just looking great. We're all going to jizz all over him at some point. But my point is,
hey, keep it PG, bro. This is a family show.
On him, around him, not on him.
Okay, you're right. We all got the blue chews. We all got the blue chews. No big deal.
On him's a bit too far. On him's a bit too far.
Yeah. That's a bit much. That's assault, brother.
Okay, family show. My bad. Okay, I get it. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. No, but look, bottom line, guys, it's exciting to see these rookies step up. I mean, this will be kind of my final thoughts. Camp looked great. We still haven't evaluated really the corners. We haven't really evaluated defensive linemen. Offensive line is still pretty much up in the air. Can Zion really step up and be that offensive center that we want? A lot of people say, well, we should have drafted a center. There weren't very many good centers, guys. Majors was considered one of the best centers, and I don't think he was even drafted. I think he was an undrafted free agent. So the center class was not great this year. I think that's partially why we went and got Donte James. But if Zion Johnson can step up and be that guy, Donte James will be a backup center. Then, we're cooking with something right here too. It gives us a lot more flexibility in the run game. Right. But again, that's all going to be evaluated in camp at this point, right? So yeah, they're going to be doing, different things, figuring things out at this point. But if you can make that work, life will be so much better. Be very interesting to see how it plays out. But I'm excited to see what these other rookies can do. Trey Harris has looked good at times. KLS has looked good at times. I haven't heard a ton about him as well too. But guys, I just think we're drafting right. Everything is great. So it's exciting. And yes, I am dreaming of Kay Adams when I made that statement. Thank you, Mikhail. I appreciate that.
All right.
She's my girl.
It's not a joke.
She's my
anymore.
We'll pass to Kyle, then we'll give NFL Mike the last word.
Sure. Yeah, man. Minicamp was exciting to see, and the interviews that they've had during this time was really enlightening, and it made us more hyped for the season for sure. And we'll still have to see what happens, and and I do think that the team is not done as far as little trade things go here and there. Because the UFL just ended. I was just gonna think. I had some thoughts on this, and I think we'll pick up a few players here and there to see if they have the juice to kind of make it in the NFL and stuff. Because there's the DC Defenders versus Michigan Panthers, whatever game. One of the players got 5 touchdowns in their Super Bowl, their championship game. So he's probably going to get a couple of looks. I don't know if it's going to happen for us because our wide receiver room is pretty stacked. But I would not be surprised if we did see some pickups in free agency from these XFL, UFL players in the coming weeks and stuff like that before training camp. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll kind of put up a bunch of coverage, but I know it is a quiet time for the Chargers. So we're gonna have to be pulling some things out of our hat to try and make some news for you guys, but we'll make it happen though, you guys. So, but as always, bolt up.
Hey, you can just start making stuff up like me sometimes.
I do. Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I'm with you guys 100%. And positions that I think that maybe they might be still adding to. I think corner is a room where they might put someone at the top of the depth chart that is going to give good mentorship. I like Jair Alexander's contract situation better, not having to trade for him, but Jalen Ramsey's attitude better. So I don't know which way they're going to go with that. But if they add a corner, I feel like it will be one of those kind of guys that is going to go to the top of the depth chart. I still think tight end could be added. It may not be those big names I mentioned of Dallas Goedert and Mark Andrews, but we may see a smaller or lesser known name, maybe out of the UFL, like you're saying. And then they're going to keep throwing at the interior D line. That's not going to stop.
Yeah.
They're basically picking up as many guys as they can and seeing who stands out like last year. And that worked out beautifully. I think it's going to work out beautifully again. My final thought about this is obviously the roster's double stacked. It's double stacked. I mean, we got starters and then we got a good depth chart also. So that doesn't even need to be highlighted anymore. And I'm sure we're going to talk that into the ground all offseason. The main thing is the actual characters and the attitudes of the guys that they got there. There was something from Jesse Minter's press conference that caught my eye, that caught my ears, I should say, specifically. The point that he made that Khil Mack was working out this offseason at the facility once he obviously resigned, basically every day. He's like, every single member of our starting defense was also at these voluntary workouts. Every single member of the starting defense is following Khil Mack around, trying to get as much from this historic Hall of Fame NFL player that they can. And it just goes to show the guys we have in the locker room, the guys we have on defense, they don't want to just be a good Chargers team. They don't want to just be an 11-win team that is second place in the AFC West every year. They are going for greatness. Derwin James is going for greatness. Deion Henley's going for greatness. These corners are going for greatness. And that is something that has stood out to me in the rhetoric, in the way the coaches are talking. That's different from previous rosters and staffs, and I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to be great. Well, and again, you guys all said it, that we're a better team than we are this year, or last year, I should say. I think sky's the limit, right? I mean, as long as we can stay healthy, I think we're ahead of schedule last year. It's going to be exciting. So, I mean, I think it's going to be great, guys. I cannot be more excited. But NFL Mike, we need to coordinate with you. We're going to be out there as well. We just got to figure out the times. You know, we got a family reunion. We got to deal with the family, and then we could go to the camp, right? So we got to figure that out. So as soon as James gets back from the hills, you know, we'll decompress. Whatever the fuck that means. You guys keep saying that. When he comes back from the hills, you know, we'll figure it out from there, you know. But again, guys, here's training camp dates, July 7th through August 8th. Should be fun. Are they still giving the tickets online like they did last year?
Yes.
Yeah. So they open up. Well,
the Monday before.
They open up Monday, July 7th at an unannounced time because I need to get my tickets. But they do open that day.
Right.
For the week, and it's first come, first serve. So if they run out, you're screwed.
Okay. Yeah. So, and I do admit, like I got a bunch when they did happen, and I had so many problems to try and move the tickets off to other people and stuff like that. So
the best way to do it is you actually like I do that too. I get a bunch and I just get as many as I can, and the only way it really works is if you bring them with you.
Yeah.
So you got to tell people. What I was doing is I was telling people like friends, like if you just come to camp, I got your ticket already.
Yeah.
I can't transfer it to you.
Yeah, exactly. So
there's it's gonna be fun. If you guys haven't been to the Bolt, man, it's the most beautiful training facility. I go to all the training camps every year. I do like a little tour with the Sonesta Hotel. So I've been to Cowboys, Raiders, Cardinals, Rams, every single Cowboys, 49ers, all of the practices, all the training camps, and our facility just blows them all out of the water. And I will say also our quarterback blows them all out of the water too when you watch him practice.
100%.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I cannot wait for the season. And again, sky's the limit, folks. I'm excited. I told so many people Chargers going to win a Super Bowl this year. I went this last time and I said, you know what? We'll be laughing when we hoist that Lombardi trophy up. And the Bolt Bros, cannot wait. I'll get that tramp stamp tattoo, the Bolt. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting.
Kay will really love that one. Kay Adams really love that
one. Oh, yeah. She'll be awesome with that one.
She'll like it. She'll like it.
She is secretly a Chargers fan, I think.
Oh, yeah. She definitely 100%. is. Yes.
Down inside.
Oh, my gosh. I love it. All righty, guys. Well, we're the Bolt Bros. And again, Mike, thank you so much for joining. And again, how can everyone find you again? Say one more time.
Search NFL Mike. You guys will find me on any platform. But the NFL Mike is my actual handle if you're having any issues. I post so much dumb shit. It's easy to find.
Yeah, dude, he's everywhere. It's great.
If you want to see someone reach further than anyone's reached before in the history of sports. Go follow my page.
I like that. I like that.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. We're the Boat Bros and honorary Boat Bros, NFL Mike. Thank you again for joining. And have a happy Father's Day, guys. It's going to be exciting.
Yes, sir.
Give your old man a call, and have a great time.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
we're the Boat Bros.
Boat Bros, let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching the Boat Bros podcast.